We walked down the aisle of marriage, happily married, and facing very little savings and $115,000 in debt. 12 different debts, a lot of school loans, car loans, credit cards, wedding. We were facing a mountain of debt commitments to the tune of about $2,200 a month in minimum payments alone. We had this mindset that is prevalent in our culture that we're good. We have 2 incomes, we're healthy, we'll never get sick, we'll never lose a job. As long as we can afford the minimum payment, we're fine. Before we left for a honeymoon, I had taken Abbie's wedding dress and I hung it on the sprinkler in my apartment at the time. Well, the dress hung there perfectly throughout the honeymoon. We got back 7 days later, and the next day we were moving in her furniture, and as we moved in this big chest, we moved the veil of the dress, and as we did, that hanger rocked. It busted that bulb, and what I later was told by the fire chief is that water comes out at about 80 pounds per square inch, and it knocked a hole in the sheetrock across the room. Right below that dress was many of our wedding gifts, our negatives from our wedding, the pictures.
My wedding dress.
Your wedding dress was destroyed, your wedding portrait. It basically destroyed everything we had. And it flooded the 4th floor, the 3rd floor, the 2nd floor, and including the MRI center on the 1st floor. Of course, we were financially irresponsible, so we didn't have renter's insurance. And so we went from the peak of our lives, coming back from our honeymoon, to just being devastated. I was so scared about what would happen to us. And I think that was kind of the first trigger that started signaling maybe we're not as safe and smart as we think we are. I really didn't want to take the class. I kind of had this attitude that we can out-earn our bad decisions and everything will be fine. I don't want any help with this aspect. I didn't want to talk about it. Abbie wanted to do it, and she encouraged me to do it. And with the urging of our 2 friends who were speaking wisdom to us, we decided to take that class. And that first week is where the change really occurred. We had to list everything that we owned, including our income, our full paycheck. And we had to sign over the deed of everything to God. And it felt silly at the time, but I realized then it was when the real switch occurred in our minds. We're like, we don't own any of this stuff. And based on our past behavior of managing money, we're not really taking God into consideration when we spend anything. We realized right then together, kind of at the same time, that we've got to make some changes because we're headed on a trajectory down, and it could invite all sorts of problems into our young marriage.
My parents lived paycheck to paycheck, and times were hard, and I saw my mom struggle, and I'm just so grateful that Shane and I chose to clean up our mess and get out of debt.
It's emotional. We've walked into this mess, and we're going to have to fight our way out because we're getting hit by advertisements all day long, every day, and it's just a very affluent, materialistic world, and just really easy to get sucked into. And so we just tell people, pray over this stuff. If this is a change you're making and you have done everything else right, you're giving and you're squeezing your budget. We lived so tight that our friends and family thought we were weird or poor. We had cheap dating down to a science, and we just lived on nothing. And we, unfortunately, because of our mess, had to do that for a little over 3 years. We would pray over the debt we were paying off, and we felt like a slave to whoever had loaned us that money. And we hated it, and we wanted to pay it off, and we prayed over it diligently. In all 12 cases, I've got the dates written in our little book where we kept our data. In every case, we paid it off quicker than the spreadsheet projected, and in many cases, months quicker. It's just created peace with no debt, no payments. We're slave to no creditor. One of the things that's talked about often in Financial Peace University, which is, what if every Christian had no debt? How much more would we give? How much more could we do as a community at Prestoncrest, locally and abroad? Encourage everybody to take a leap of faith and just say no to debt. I know it's strange in this society. There's no regrets here. 1 Chronicles 29:11, everything in the heavens and the earth is yours, O Lord.